Hollywood loves to brag about billion-dollar blockbusters. But behind the glitter, there are disasters so big they nearly sank entire studios. Today, we're diving into the top 10 biggest movie flops in history. Films that wasted insane amounts of money, confused audiences, and became legends of failure. And trust me, the number one flop is so catastrophic, it literally destroys a studio. Let's get started. 10. The Lone Ranger. Disney thought they had another Pirates of the Caribbean on their hands. Johnny Depp in quirky makeup, huge action scenes, and a massive budget, but instead of gold, they got coal. Critics called it messy, audiences stayed away, and the studio lost a fortune. The Lone Ranger became a textbook example of how throwing money at a movie doesn't guarantee success. 9. 47 Ronin. Keanu Reeves as a samurai sounded cool on paper. A fantasy adventure mixing Japanese legends with Hollywood spectacle. But when the film finally hit theaters, it was a disaster. The story felt hollow, the CGI over the top, and Japanese audiences, the ones it should have appealed to most, rejected it. Universal ended up bleeding cash, and the film became a ghost of what it promised to be. 8. Mars Needs Moms. Disney tried motion capture animation again after Polar Express. And this time, audiences hated it. The characters looked unsettling, the story was bland, and families simply didn't show up. It was supposed to be a heartwarming sci-fi adventure, but instead it became one of Disney's most embarrassing failures, vanishing from theaters almost instantly. 7. Pan. How do you ruin Peter Pan? Somehow, Warner Brothers figured it out. This prequel had Hugh Jackman, a giant budget, and colorful visuals. But critics shredded it as confusing and joyless, and audiences shrugged. Instead of soaring like Peter, this film sank like a stone. 6. John Carter. A century-old sci-fi novel turned into a mega blockbuster. Sounds epic, right? But Disney completely botched the marketing. Nobody knew who John Carter was, what the film was about, or why they should care. Despite jaw-dropping effects, the movie became one of the most expensive flops ever, teaching Hollywood a painful lesson in branding. 5. The 13th Warrior. Antonio Banderas as an Arab warrior fighting Vikings. What could go wrong? Apparently, everything. Endless reshoots, rewrites, and delays sent the budget spiraling. By the time it limped into theaters, audiences were already uninterested. The result? A historical adventure remembered more for its losses than for the story it told. 4. Cats. Ah yes, Cats, the movie that broke the internet, and not in a good way. The CGI nightmare of half-human, half-cat actors instantly horrified audiences. Critics called it one of the worst films of all time. Instead of becoming a beloved musical adaptation, it became a meme factory. Universal lost millions, but at least the internet got endless jokes. 3. The Adventures of Pluto Nash. Eddie Murphy in a sci-fi comedy on the moon. Sounds fun, right? Wrong. This movie cost over $100 million, but it barely made a dent at the box office, pulling in less than $10 million. Today, it's often ranked as one of the worst comedies ever made, a career low point for one of Hollywood's biggest stars. 2. Waterworld. At the time, this was the most expensive movie ever made. Kevin Costner battling pirates on a flooded Earth sounded epic, but nature had other plans. Sets sank, storms destroyed equipment, and production costs exploded. When it released, audiences mocked it as Kevin's Gate. While it eventually gained cult status, Universal was left drowning in debt. 1. Heaven's Gate. And finally, the flop of all flops, Heaven's Gate. Fresh off his Oscar win for The Deer Hunter, director Michael Cimino was given unlimited freedom, and he used it. The result? A 4-hour western with endless takes, ballooning costs, and no audience interest. Critics savaged it. Theaters pulled it after just days, and the film's failure bankrupted United Artists Studio. To this day, Heaven's Gate is remembered as the ultimate Hollywood disaster. And there you have it, the top 10 biggest movie flops in history. These films prove that no matter how big the budget, no matter how famous the stars, Hollywood can still miss the mark, sometimes in spectacular fashion. Which flop shocked you the most? Would you dare to watch Cats, Pluto Nash, or Heaven's Gate just out of curiosity? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more epic top 10s. Thanks for watching.